Welcome back. Let's put this in the ether, right? One subject of class in colleges that a lot of girls like to major in, right, is psychology, right? You ask a girl, what are you major in? Oh, psychology. Oh, psychology, right? All these studies, right? All these gender studies on it. The reason why they major in these easy courses, right? In these courses like psychology and stuff like that, is because they themselves don't know who they are really. And they think that by them majoring in these courses like psychology, psychiatric, right, it helps them to understand who they are, right? This is why they pick these kind of subjects. Women right now, they're lost. They don't know nothing that much. They don't know how to understand themselves. They don't have a clear concept of who they are. This is why they like psychology. This is why they gravitates towards psychologies, gravitates towards human nature, right? They try to discover themselves, try to learn who they are, right? Because a woman, they don't really live in the reality. They don't see things as black and white, as literal. They see things as some other meanings, right? And this is why they're so conflicted with all these ideologies. They're still in a sense of self-discovery. This is why they explore. They're more experimentals, right? Compared to men, right? Men are not that experimental, right? I'm not saying men don't experiment, but women are more experimental. The reason why they're more experimental, they don't really know who they are. They haven't really grasped the concept of who they are yet, right? They don't really grasp the concept of they are a woman, right? They have needs, but yet again, if they go unchecked, they will lead to their destruction, right? But they don't understand that, right? That's why they like to experiment. And when they get out of high school, they go binge drink, not knowing their limits, right? They binge drink. They have promiscuous sex. All these partners doing drugs, right? Getting tattoos for the sake of experimenting, and they like to call it free spirit. That's what it is, right? Free the spirit, free their inner demons, right? All these stuff. That's why they're the most group of people, right? That do all these things and not knowing the consequences, right? That's why they go in this field of psychologies. Why do you think there's a lot of women psychologists, a lot of women therapists, right? A lot of women behavior scientists, because they're trying to figure out who they are in real life. They don't know who they are, right? A little girl out there, right? They don't know who they are. This is why a lot of girls out there, they're young girls. They're really clueless about things. That's why the word clueless comes from, right? They're really clueless about how the world works. They're like a blank slate. They're a blank slate. They're willing to experiment a lot, try to figure out who they are, right? Try to figure out who they are. And because of that, this is why a lot of women they go crazy, right? They're the most insane group of people out there. I'm not saying in a disparaging way. They're the most, right? Compared to men, they have a larger proportion of psychiatrical problems, right? Most of them are undiagnosed. They have psychological problems, but they're undiagnosed, and they don't know it yet, right? So they get into this field of psychology, trying to diagnose themselves. That's what it is, because they are undiagnosed psychopath or whatever it is. They get into this field, try to self-diagnose themselves, try to understand human beings, try to understand who they are, right? That's what they do. This is why you see a lot of them taking these courses. This is why you see a lot of them not taking like STEM classes, right? They don't take STEM classes. They like to take social justice studies, gender studies, all these stuff. Try to study their own genders and stuff. Try to study psychology, how the mind works, right? Try to study all these stuff, right? And not venture off in fields like science, mathematics, right? All these stuff. They like to explore in these kind of subjects because they are lost themselves. They are more lost than men, right? They don't know how to think the way guys think. Guys think in a narrow way. We straightforward, right? We're straightforward like God. God is a man. He's a narrow-minded guy, and he always moves forward in a single path, one direction. Woman spreads, right, everywhere. It's like a metaphor when they're spreading their legs, right? It's like that. They spread. Their mind is like broad into areas, and when you have a mind like that, it's scattered everywhere. It's hard to organize your thoughts. right? When your mind is scattered like that, it's hard to organize your thoughts, right? So this is why a women they're diagnosed with all these psychological problems, right? They're diagnosed with all these psychological problems and they try to self-diagnose themselves. Why do you think a lot of women are cutters, right? They put on Beethoven, Ninth Symphony, whatever it is, Moonlight Sonata in the bed, crying, dark room, right? Why do you think that show Wednesday on Netflix is such a popular show? Because a lot of women could identify with that show. A lot of women watch that show, right? Wednesday with Tim Burton's about the Addams family because it's so depressing, so gothic, right? So emotional, right? Because most of the girls could relate to Wednesday Addams because most girls out there are chronic depressive, manic depressive, right? That's why most of them are on SSRI, selective serotonin receptors um, inhibitors, right? That's what SSRI stand for. They're on antidepressants, they're on Prozacs, right? They're on Prozac, they're on Zoloft, all these stuff, right? All these psychology medicines, right? Because they're manic depressive, right? This is why, because they're manic depressive, they try to diagnose themselves and try to go to this field like psychologies, psychiatrics, right? Why was the movie what Girls Interrupted was made for? It's to expose that issues, right? Most women are chronic depressive, right? Most men out there, when they get out of high school, they already know what they're doing. Women, when they get out of high school, they don't know what they're doing, right? They're still undeclared on their majors, right? And they get persuaded by this thing called feminism at colleges, and then they don't understand that will lead them to the wrong directions, right? They tell them that being more independent is the right path for you, right? This is why it's easy for women to get manipulated because they're still in the self-discovery, right? Women are easily manipulated than it is by men. Men tend to question things, right? When they're not men tend to challenge other men. Women tend to agree with other women, right? But they hate each other. You see the contradictions? Women tend to agree with other women on certain issues, but they hate each other. But guys, we tend to challenge each other. All right? Women don't challenge each other at all. So if there's no challenge, how you know a guy could think for himself? You have to challenge other men. You have to challenge other ideas. And most of the people watching this video, they might challenge what I'm saying as well, right? That's fine. You're good to go challenge. You're good to do your own research, right? Guys are more inclined to do their own research. Women are more inclined to listen to word of mouth. Why do you think women are major gossipers? Why do you think a group of women like to gossip? They listen to each other's, right? Check that movie Mean Girls out. It show you how women react. Right? It's back in the 2000s with Lindsay Lohan, right? How catty girls can be, how conniving, how manipulative girls can be, right? But then again, they get along with each other, right? They play along to get along, right? But back what I was saying, right? They don't know what they want. They have a lot of issues psychologically, right? It's This is why they like to go in that fields, gender studies, all these liberal arts degrees, right? That serve no purpose, and most of them don't have any great talents at all, right? And if it is a great talent, it's probably the field of acting, right? Why field of acting? Because women are they're a shell, right? That's why they're great actress. They could they could take a role in anything. That's why they're good at manipulating men, right? Manipulating. You have to act in order to do it. But back to what I was saying, right? They're confused when they get out. That's why they major in these classes, psychologies, all these stuff, right? Gender studies, because they still try to discover who they are. That's what it is. They're on a constant state of discovery. Why do you think women divorce and try to start over? Right? They think that the life isn't over yet. They still try to discover, oh, maybe if I divorce my husband, I'm still exploring my other option that's out there, not realizing you're done. You're 40 years old. You have children. You're out the game. Right? They think there's still a chance out there. But men out there do not want a 40-year-old single mother who's newly divorced. Not a man that in your in your mind you think of not a strong male figure, not a highly valued male, right? He don't want that. He wants the younger, the more youthful woman, and they don't think like that. They think that, oh, maybe I still have a chance, right? Thinking they still have options because their mind don't work like that. They're still in the stage of self discovery, right? They haven't had this epiphany yet. Epiphany. And that's usually happening in their older age when they realize they have wrinkles, gray hair. Oh, I'm too late. Until it's too late. But yeah, the reason why they take these classes like psychology because they don't understand themselves. They take it to understand themselves. That's what it is. Because by nature, women what? They're lost without men. That's why they try to understand their own psychology and diagnose themselves. But let me know if you agree. Leave a comment below, like, share, subscribe, and as always, peace and blessings.